Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another movie look back review. Now, I think it's safe to say, when most of us were introduced to Macaulay Culkin, we remember him from family-friendly movies such as Uncle Buck and Home Alone. But after those roles, well, he would definitely take a trip to the dark side. Now, is this movie worth praise? Or do you wish you were grounded and not have to watch this movie ever? Well, let's get on my movie look back review of The Good Son, released back in 1993. The movie stars Elijah Wood as Mark, David Morse as Mark's dad Jack, Macaulay Culkin as Henry, Wendy Crewson and Daniel Hugh Kelly as his parents Susan and Wallace, and was directed by Joseph Ruben. Now, right off the top of this movie, Mark's mom is going to pass away, and just like any youngster, he's going to take it very hard. Now, he's not going to have any time to mourn with his father because his father has to jet set off on a business trip. And while his dad is very reluctant to do so, his brother Wallace, Mark's uncle, is going to offer to watch Mark while he goes on this trip that could be very financially benefit to both of them. Now, while it would be nice for Mark to have his dad here in this time of grief, well, at least he's going to be surrounded by family, including someone his own age, someone he can play with, and that's his cousin, Henry. Now, at first, we're going to feel like something is just a little off with Henry, but then again, he is a kid around the age of 8 to 10, so I'm sure we all had quirks at that age. Now, as Henry and Mark head off for a day of adventures, sure, they're going to get into some mischief, but nothing that boys that age wouldn't get into. Now, while things seem somewhat normal when we first meet Henry, as this movie progresses, well, we're going to start to see the evil within him as he does cruel things to animals and even causes a major pileup on a freeway. Now, while us as the audience see that it is Henry that is committing all these heinous acts, and his parents, well, they're completely oblivious to everything that is going on. And when Mark tries to explain what is going on, well, Henry, he is so good at manipulating these situations, it's going to make it look like Mark is the one that deserves to be locked up in the crazy house. Now, we do see that Henry also has a younger sister who also lives with them, but through some backstory, we also find out that at one time Henry did have a younger brother who tragically died. Now, his mother will start putting the pieces of this puzzle together, and she's going to come to the realization that his brother's death wasn't an accident. Now, when it comes to the end of this movie, well, Henry, he's set on making his mom his next victim, and Mark is going to do everything in his power to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, Henry's mom, well, she's going to have to make a very difficult decision. Does she save her nephew Mark or her not so good son, Henry? Now, do I recommend the movie The Good Son? Yes, I do. Now, I was just a youngster back in 1993, and even though Macaulay Culkin was in this movie, because of the R rating, my parents wouldn't let me watch this movie. And it was some years later till I was able to get my own Blockbuster rental card that I was able to check this movie out. Now, I do remember enjoying this movie back then, and even here in 2021, I still think this is an enjoyable watch. Now, as of this recording, The Good Son is streaming for free on both Tubi and YouTube with limited commercials. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the movie The Good Son a 7 out of 10, as I feel like this is an enjoyable watch. Now, I really do appreciate the meticulous nature of this movie as we see Henry get darker and darker as the movie progresses, and he definitely does some jaw-dropping things. Now, while a lot of movies give us answers as to how or why someone became so evil, well, The Good Son, they don't really do that. They really leave it up to interpretation. So you kind of have to go with that old adage that maybe he was just born evil, like Michael Myers. Now, have you guys ever seen the movie The Good Son? And if you have, what are your thoughts? Comment down below. And guys, if you like movie look back reviews like this, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.